Hi, Bob with Million Mile Garage. We're working on a much smaller scale vehicle today. This is my 1978 Shinsei Fire Fox. It's a fully functional radio controlled vehicle, which is not fully functional right now. It has forward and reverse, but it doesn't have steerage. So, pretty common problem on these early radio controlled vehicles. It's got a little servo motor that steers the front wheels. And what I think happened is the contacts, they just have to get a little dirty. And then you can try tickling it, sometimes just by moving the wheels back and forth. Usually not enough to get it going. So we're going to take it apart and see if we can tickle that little motor and get it to work again. Okay, I think what the problem is this servo motor right here. And I'm going to have to open up this top cover to get access to this, probably to move it enough. Let's see if I can get that little servo motor to go. See, here's the steering rod on the end here. And because there's such a tremendous gear reduction in this steering box, you can't really work the gears without working the overrun clutch, making it click. So I can't really get this motor to spin in hopes of unfreeing it so that the contacts will come to life on the brushes and the motor. So we'll pull this cover off and see if we can get this to go. Okay, I got the screws loosened up, so we're just going to pull this top cover off. And I have her sitting up on blocks so that the suspension doesn't fall apart when I take this off. So you can see how this is all tied together. That front cover ties everything together. And you can see how many gears I have going on here. There's so much gear reduction that there's no way you can get that motor to turn by jerking the wheels. There's like a little, there's an overrun clutch in here. I don't remember which spot it's in. I think it might be this part here, or maybe here. I think that's the overrun clutch. And that keeps you from damaging the gears. It's supposed to click or ratchet. So you can't really get the motor to turn by just moving the wheels. So the only way I'm going to get these contacts to free up, so I'm just going to have to take it and move it back and forth with my hand a little bit. See how I'm just gently moving it? I don't know how good a focus that's coming in right there. Coming right there. I'm just coming in and just gently moving those. See, now I can get that gear to turn. The only thing I'm trying to do is polish those contacts on that commutator and where those brushes ride on it, and see if that's going to be enough to tickle this to get it to go. Oh, we got life. Okay, now she's got some life. I'm just going to just carefully just flip the steering. Nothing yet. Let's work that just a little more. Now it could be the potentiometer's not in great shape either, and maybe if we just massage this a little more. We had a little bit of life there for a second. Actually, I guess if I just took this gear out, then it can't run away. Now we've just got this. And then I could play with the potentiometer as well. Let's see if that'll come back around. See, now I can move the wheels. I can actuate the potentiometer. Let's see if that'll bring this to life. Okay, that just came loose, the steering linkage, that's fine. We'll just get that out of the way for now. That's not going to hurt anything. And let's see if we can just keep exercising this potentiometer and see if that'll maybe get it to come to life. Now you just have to keep coaxing it. And I have taken these further apart before and shot a little WD-40 in them to clean them up. Sometimes that'll get them to come to life as well. But right now I don't have any life. That part's working still. I'm having trouble getting this part to come around. I had it working. It was working just for just a moment. Oh, there we go. Did you hear that? Had just a spark of life. Let's work this potentiometer again. Actually, just set this potentiometer so that it's off center, and then it should be trying to give a command to write this thing back. See if we can work it the other way. Move it that way. Just keep working it. Keep exercising it. A lot of times it'll come back around. Make sure I don't have any bad connections here. All this stuff seems to be okay. This little motor doesn't seem to want to be coming to life. That's unfortunate. See if I can still get it to come around. Oh, there we go. See that? I finally got it to go just by tickling it with this. See that? And now if I take this potentiometer and center it like the wheels are centered, that motor will stop running. There we go. It came back to life. All right, so now if I take this potentiometer and move it in either direction, that motor should be turning because it'll be trying to center itself in an effort to move the potentiometer back to center. So let's try this back over here again. Let's come back over this way. It's almost there. I think that motor's still tired. Oh, there we go. Give it a push start. There we go. So I think we're going to need to let this motor run for a little bit. And once those brushes get polished inside, we'll have our steerage back. We'll have a running Fire Fox again. Let's try centering it and see how it shuts off. Okay, that's centered. Now if we move the potentiometer off center, the motor should work now. There we go. Center. Okay, that would be like it's going straight ahead. It's not going to try to do anything. Still not responding to the radio as good as I would like. So that part's working. If I go right, it's working. Or at least it was. Let's try freeing it up one more time. Get this going. Let's move this off center. Okay, it's working. That's encouraging. And let's center this potentiometer and get it to stop working again. Now I think it should respond if I move the joystick. It should try to get it to move, I would think. Still no response. So I think this motor got really weak from sitting. So maybe if I try just exercising this a few more times. Yeah, this motor has like no pizzazz. It's really slow to come to life. I'll try hitting it again. Still not sure if it's the potentiometer or not doing that as well. Could be a weak potentiometer, could just be dirty. That may need to be taken apart and cleaned as well. But I think I can get this functioning again. Just going to have to be patient with it. I was kind of hoping I could get this to turn again. Okay, I just tickled it in the other direction. It went for a little bit. Let's try that again. There we go. I think I'm just going to have to let this run for a little bit. Looks like it's got good torque. Let's see how much static this potentiometer gives, see if it interrupts it. Okay, now if I move it in either direction, the motor turns. That's a good sign. It'll go that way. So we got steerage that way. Not quite as strong that way, but it's working. Then if I slow it down. Okay, and it should go the other way when I tune the potentiometer in the opposite direction. Try to tell this moves so quickly. Okay, now I wonder if I can at least get it to respond to controls. Still no response. That leads me to believe it might have a potentiometer problem, or maybe the circuit board has got a bad capacitor or two. That may have to be tended to as well. But encouraging that I at least got it to work. See, it doesn't want to start back up again once I turn this. That sure seems like a potentiometer problem. I think we might have to take this potentiometer out and dose it with a little WD-40. A lot of times that'll clean them up and get them to come around. Okay, now I'm pulsing it. That's encouraging. So it's changing directions now. It's hard to tell because it moves so quickly. That's a good sign. I may just let it run just a little more. Oh yeah, that's running way stronger now. I think it was just having trouble starting itself. Let's try centering it again. Go it the other way. Not quite as strong the other direction, but it is working. You really hear it humming now that the heater turned off. Oh, there we go. Now we got it. Now, it'll have a tendency to kind of move just a little bit and hum if it's not perfectly centered. But right now, if I give it right, it's digital proportional too, so you can hear the pitch change as I move the lever farther. Yeah, just changing in the other direction. So it's responding to the radio. So that tells me the electronics are working good. The radio's putting out a signal, and the receiver on the car is picking up the signal, and it's transmitting what I want it to do into actions. So you can see it's just barely moving. That humming sound, they always kind of make that noise. So this motor's coming back to life. There we go. Okay, she's a runner again. We can put this back together. We'll have a running vehicle again. Awesome. Now if I just play with this potentiometer just a tad, if I get it centered just right, it'll stop feeding juice to that motor. Right there. Now I wonder with it perfectly centered if I can get it to energize. Left, right. There we go. Left. And just get it to center. Okay. That's basically centered, and then go the other way. All right. I think we brought this one back to life. Wonder how many of these things got thrown in the trash back in the day just because the motor was dirty. Cool. Okay, moment of truth. She's a runner. All right. Back to life. Well, now that the Fire Fox is running better than ever, interesting piece of information. It's actually modeled after the Lamborghini Cheetah, which was actually modeled after the FMC XR311, Food and Machinery Corporation, which was a military spec vehicle. There were maybe a dozen copies made in the early 70s, and it was powered by, you guessed it, a small block Chrysler. Most of them were 318s. I think one was reported to have actually had a 360 in it. The Lamborghini Cheetah, which was basically a copy of the XR311, also had the 360 power plant in it. And FMC Corporation actually sued Lamborghini over their Lamborghini Cheetah because it actually, they claimed it too closely copied their design. So I guess it was a patent infringement or a copyright infringement, whatever you want to call that. So yeah, interesting piece of information. Look that up. And of course, both the XR311 and the Lamborghini Cheetah, I guess basically that kind of led to the development of the Humvee. From 1978 to about 1990, I think I wore out 3 sets of rechargeable batteries on this Fire Fox. It probably has 1,000 actual miles on it. Hey, thanks for watching, and as always, help a guy out. Hit like and subscribe. There's a shot of the Tamiya Model Corporation, the FMC XR311. Thanks for watching. See you next time.